That's right. It's not a huge surprise given the strides the company's been making recently, but it still beats estimates. BYD's sales last year surpassed the $100 billion mark, beating rival Tesla on revenue for the first time since 2018.
The world's most talked about EV rivalry has just taken a sharp turn, and it's not the twist you expected. In a global market teetering between disruption and reinvention, one name has quietly flipped the script on what dominance in electric mobility really looks like. This isn't just about who sold more cars or earned more headlines. It's about a deeper shift in power, preference, and perception. While one automaker stays busy making noise, the other is making moves, strategic, silent, and startling in scale. And somewhere buried in the data lies a single number that could redefine who leads the future. With luxury flagships like the Yangwang U7 sending shockwaves through segments once ruled by Porsche, the message is clear. The game has changed. Is it a fluke, a flex, or the first sign of a new era? You're about to find out. Buckle up, because what's happening behind the scenes is even more electric than what's on the road. Revenue and volume reimagined. In a historic shift that reshapes the global electric vehicle (EV) landscape, BYD has officially overtaken Tesla in annual revenue for 2024. The Chinese automaker reported a staggering 777 billion yuan, or $107 billion USD, outpacing Tesla's $97.7 billion. While Tesla has long held the crown for EV revenue dominance, BYD's rapid growth, fueled by a broad product portfolio and aggressive hybrid strategy, has catapulted it into the lead. This marks the first time since 2018 that Tesla has been dethroned in this arena, signaling a potential power shift in the global EV hierarchy. What makes this even more noteworthy is that BYD achieved this feat despite limited exposure in the US market, where Tesla remains dominant, highlighting the strength of BYD's foothold in Asia and emerging economies. Beyond revenue, the sales volume tells an equally compelling story. BYD delivered approximately 4.3 million vehicles globally in 2024, a figure that includes both battery electric and plug-in hybrid models. In comparison, Tesla sold around 1.79 million EVs, narrowly maintaining its lead in pure electric units. However, BYD's broader definition of electrification and consumer appetite for hybrids in developing and range-conscious markets has given it a massive edge in total units moved. Notably, BYD's dominance in China, the world's largest EV market, continues to grow even as the segment becomes increasingly crowded with domestic rivals like NIO, XPeng, and Geely. BYD's vertical integration, producing its own batteries, chips, and powertrain components, has allowed it to scale aggressively while keeping prices competitive across multiple vehicle categories. This shift comes at a time when the EV industry is grappling with rising geopolitical and economic uncertainties. Western tariffs on Chinese-made EVs, softening consumer demand due to high inflation, and a cooling property market in China have all impacted the market dynamics. Yet, BYD has not only weathered these headwinds, but thrived. Its hybrid models appear to serve as a strategic buffer, bridging consumers between combustion engines and fully electric vehicles, particularly in regions where charging infrastructure still lags behind. Additionally, BYD has been quick to adapt to local economic conditions, recently launching budget-conscious models like the Chin L to appeal to price-sensitive buyers while maintaining performance and safety benchmarks. These moves have helped BYD maintain momentum where others have faltered. Meanwhile, Tesla faces increasing scrutiny and reputational risk, partly due to CEO Elon Musk's controversial political involvement, including his appointment under the Trump administration and support of far-right political movements abroad. While Musk's actions dominate headlines, BYD has quietly stayed focused on innovation and execution. Backed by institutional investors like Warren Buffett, BYD's branding remains apolitical and tech-first, a calculated move that resonates with global regulators and international investors alike. With momentum on its side, the question now becomes, is BYD poised to become not just a challenger, but the defining force of the next EV era? And if so, how will Tesla and other global incumbents respond to a competitor that's not only faster and broader in scope, but also increasingly unshaken by the political turbulence that continues to swirl around its Western peers? BYD's most disruptive move this year wasn't about topping charts. It was about undercutting expectations where it hurts the most. The power of Chinl. One of the boldest moves in BYD's 2024 playbook came with the launch of the Chinl, a mid-size electric sedan designed to directly rival Tesla's Model 3, with a starting price of 119,800 yuan, roughly half the cost of a base Model 3 in China, which comes in at 235,500 yuan. The Chinl delivers a striking value proposition in a market where affordability has become paramount. BYD's pricing strategy appears laser-focused on the growing segment of Chinese consumers who are becoming more cautious with spending amid economic slowdowns, rising youth unemployment, and persistent concerns in the housing sector. Unlike Tesla's minimalist Model 3, which positions itself as a tech-forward premium sedan, the Chinl seems aimed at practical buyers who prioritize long-term reliability, price-to-performance ratio, and access to incentives under China's national and provincial EV subsidies. BYD has leaned into its vertically integrated supply chain and battery technology leadership to reduce production costs and pass savings directly to consumers. The result is a car that doesn't feel budget, despite its budget-friendly price tag, potentially redefining expectations for what an entry-level EV can offer in 2024. The timing of the Chinl's launch also feels strategically calculated. As Tesla faces brand perception challenges due to Elon Musk's growing political involvement, BYD has stepped in with a more neutral and tech-centric brand image. For buyers looking to avoid the polarization surrounding Tesla, or simply seeking a high-value alternative, BYD offers a compelling and controversy-free path. Some analysts are even speculating that the Chinl could trigger a wave of price recalibrations across the EV market, forcing competitors to reconsider both margins and market positioning. This aggressive price-to-performance push underscores BYD's growing confidence and ambition in the global EV race. While premium models like the Yangwang U7 target innovation at the high end, the Chinl represents BYD's strategy to dominate the middle, where real volume lives. Will the Model 3's grip on the Chinese EV segment loosen under this pressure? Or will Tesla be forced to counter with its long-rumored Model 2 budget offering? For now, the Chinl stands as a sharp reminder. In today's EV market, value is just as disruptive as technology. BYD's luxury powerhouse. With the unveiling of the Yangwang U7, BYD has decisively entered the luxury electric vehicle segment, bringing with it a level of innovation that challenges long-standing premium players. Unlike traditional luxury EVs that mostly lean on design and branding, the U7 leads with performance, functionality, and technology. Equipped with a jaw-dropping 1,300 horsepower, the U7 is capable of feats typically reserved for concept vehicles. It can move sideways, climb stairs, and execute precise robotic movements with ease. In doing so, BYD is not just building a car, it's redefining what luxury means in the age of intelligent mobility. The U7's capabilities are grounded in BYD's engineering breakthroughs, including technologies like lateral movement enabled by 4-motor vector control, and a stair-climbing feature supported by adaptive suspension. These aren't gimmicks. They address real-world scenarios such as navigating tight urban environments and unstructured terrains. In many ways, the U7 represents BYD's response to Western luxury giants like Tesla's Model S Plaid or Mercedes' EQS, but from a completely different angle. Instead of competing on acceleration or minimalist design, the U7 offers multi-dimensional mobility and intelligent adaptability. Positioning the U7 as a flagship, BYD is making a broader statement about Chinese innovation. For years, the luxury EV market has been dominated by Western brands with strong brand equity but relatively iterative technical advancements. BYD, however, is introducing a new kind of luxury, one where practical marvels and mobility intelligence take center stage over leather interiors and badge recognition. The fact that these advancements are production-ready, not just conceptual, makes the U7 particularly disruptive. Could this signal a broader shift where buyers begin valuing function-driven luxury over status symbols? While it remains to be seen how the U7 will perform in markets outside China, especially given trade tensions and regulatory hurdles, its release signals BYD's intent to not only catch up to, but surpass traditional luxury EV benchmarks. More than just a premium vehicle, the Yangwang U7 is a showcase of BYD's technological ceiling, and perhaps a glimpse of what the next generation of high-end automotive innovation might look like. In a world where luxury is being redefined by software, autonomy, and versatility, BYD's bold approach could end up setting the new standard. The brain behind the brawn. At the core of BYD's most advanced vehicles lies the E4 platform, a groundbreaking four-motor independent drive system that redefines the architecture of electric vehicle dynamics. Unlike conventional EV drivetrains that rely on one or two motors, E4 assigns a dedicated motor to each wheel, enabling fully independent torque vectoring. This innovation translates into unparalleled precision in power delivery, balance, and responsiveness, offering not just raw power, but intelligent, adaptable control over every movement of the vehicle. It's not just about speed, it's about mastery of motion. The E4 platform isn't just impressive on paper. It has already demonstrated its capabilities in real-world performance benchmarks. During Moose testing, where sudden obstacle avoidance is simulated, vehicles equipped with the platform reached a record-breaking 95.78 km/h, showcasing extreme agility without compromising safety. More than that, the system enables automated in-place U-turns without needing to shift gears or apply brakes, and it allows for lateral movement, essentially letting the car move sideways out of tight parking spots with just 30 centimeters of clearance. These aren't futuristic aspirations, they're functional features available now. The system also supports multiple driving modes, including Big Stride for fast lateral repositioning and Small Step for delicate maneuvers in narrow or crowded environments, ideal for urban driving and tight parking garages. In terms of safety and fault tolerance, E4 goes beyond redundancy. It embodies resilience. If a tire blows out, the remaining motors can dynamically rebalance torque to maintain stability, even in diagonal blowout scenarios at speeds up to 160 km/h. This level of adaptive control makes it possible for the vehicle to remain drivable in situations that would render most cars uncontrollable. The platform's intelligence, distributed control, and fault isolation capabilities collectively raise the bar for what consumers should expect from high-performance EV drivetrains. It also allows for fail operational scenarios, meaning that even if one or more drive components fail, the vehicle can still safely complete its trip, crucial for autonomous or semi-autonomous driving environments. What makes the E4 platform especially important is that it's not limited to just one ultra-luxury model. It's a scalable architecture that can evolve across BYD's lineup, potentially influencing a wide spectrum of vehicles from flagship innovators like the U7 to future mass-market models. It also integrates seamlessly with other key BYD systems, including the Unian Z suspension and the Magic Ruler sensor suite, forming a deeply connected network of feedback and control mechanisms. As the auto industry transitions from mechanical to software-defined vehicles, BYD's E4 platform may represent a new design philosophy, one where vehicle motion becomes programmable, precise, and deeply intelligent. The question now isn't whether this technology works, it's how soon the rest of the industry will catch up. The suspension system. At the heart of BYD's push to redefine ride comfort and vehicle stability is the Yangwang U7 system, the world's first intelligent suspension body control technology, inspired by the principles of magnetic levitation. Developed over 7 years by a team of more than 10,000 engineers, Yangwang U7 introduces a paradigm shift in how vehicles interact with the road. Unlike traditional mechanical suspension systems, Yangwang U7 uses direct-drive suspension motors to control vertical movement with unmatched speed and precision, bringing maglev-like smoothness to passenger cars. The most impressive feat of the Yangwang U7 system is its 5-millisecond response time, the fastest in the industry. This rapid execution allows the suspension to make up to 12 adjustments while driving over a single speed bump at 30 km per hour, compared to just 0.5 adjustments by conventional active systems. Additionally, it boasts 1 mm height adjustment accuracy, enabling complex motion control tasks such as writing characters with the vehicle's chassis or dancing in synchronized, robotic-like patterns. But these capabilities aren't just for show. They translate into a real-world driving experience that delivers 0 bounce, 0 pitch, and 0 roll, even on uneven or challenging terrain. The benefits of Yangwang U7 go well beyond comfort. BYD has built-in adaptive safety features that respond dynamically to road conditions and impact threats. For example, in a side collision, the system can instantly lift one side of the vehicle to redirect crash forces to structurally stronger areas, reducing injury risk. It can also perform precision maneuvers like mounting curbs or descending stairs with minimal vibration, thanks to real-time load sensing and force redistribution. These functions represent a fusion of suspension and safety systems, one that traditional chassis platforms haven't been able to achieve. Particularly significant is that it reimagines suspension not as a passive or reactive element, but as a proactive intelligence layer within the vehicle's ecosystem. As the automotive world shifts towards software-defined vehicles and real-time adaptability, BYD's approach offers a compelling vision for what ride quality can mean in the EV era. Could this be the beginning of a broader industry move away from conventional shock absorbers and springs toward intelligent, motor-driven systems? If BYD's results hold up across models and markets, the answer might be yes. But what makes this suspension system truly revolutionary lies in a hidden component. Small in size, but massive in impact: magic ruler sensor. At the core of BYD's intelligent suspension and body control system lies one of its most underrated but transformative components, the magic ruler sensor. This precision displacement sensor leverages the Hall effect technology to monitor the vehicle's posture and vertical movement with unprecedented accuracy. In practical terms, the sensor captures vehicle motion 4,000 times in the blink of an eye, at speeds of just 50 microseconds per reading. This makes it 20 times faster than most industry-standard sensors, and forms the digital nervous system for systems like Yangwang U7 and other real-time control applications. What sets the magic ruler apart is its ultra-fine resolution of 15 microns, a measurement significantly smaller than a human hair, roughly 100 microns, and even smaller than a red blood cell. This extraordinary level of detail allows BYD's intelligent systems to respond to road conditions, body pitch, and suspension travel with surgical precision. Combined with the vehicle's software-defined control systems, the sensor provides the kind of fine-tuned feedback required for advanced features like robotic choreography, stair navigation, and active safety maneuvers under high-stress conditions. But the magic ruler's role goes beyond comfort and performance. It has clear implications for autonomous vehicle control and real-time decision-making. As vehicles become more intelligent, the quality and speed of data collection directly influence safety outcomes. A system that can sense minute shifts in chassis, posture, or road gradient thousands of times per second can preemptively adjust torque, suspension stiffness, or braking behavior without waiting for predictive models. This closes the loop between sensing and action in a way that's rarely achieved in mainstream production vehicles. As BYD looks to expand its advanced driving systems and L3 redundancy architecture across its lineup, the magic ruler may become the silent hero behind many of its most intelligent features. It also raises a larger industry question. Is ultra-high resolution sensing the missing link in delivering safe, human-like driving behavior in machines? While LiDAR and radar get most of the spotlight in the autonomy conversation, BYD's emphasis on micro-level vertical sensing hints at a new frontier, where the smartest vehicles may also be the most physically aware. L3. Autonomous safety systems. As the automotive industry inches closer to true autonomy, redundancy has become the cornerstone of vehicle safety, and BYD is leading that charge. The Yangwang U7 is the world's first mass-produced vehicle with full L3-level redundancy across 4 critical systems: steering, braking, driving, and power. In a world where software glitches or component failures can lead to catastrophic consequences, BYD's architecture ensures that the vehicle maintains core functionality even in failure scenarios. This level of fail-safe design is not only groundbreaking, it's essential for the future of autonomous driving. The redundancy strategy is underpinned by BYD's God's Eye intelligent sensing suite, which comes standard, even in non-premium models. This 3-laser setup is supported by dual NVIDIA Orin X chips, delivering a combined 508 TOPS of computing power. It works in concert with 32 high-spec sensors, including LiDAR units with 128-line point cloud density and 200-meter range. The result is an ultra-detailed, wide-angle view of the vehicle's surroundings, enabling advanced perception capabilities that rival, and in some respects surpass, those found in many global luxury EVs. One of the most impressive demonstrations of BYD's system came in the autonomous Moose test, where the Yangwang U7 maintained control at over 95 km/h, even during extreme evasive maneuvers. This kind of stability, even when navigating tight slalom courses or sudden obstacles, reflects not just good design, but intelligent torque and brake redistribution made possible by the E4 platform and L3 safety stack. Even in the event of a steering or brake failure, the system can redirect control through the vehicle's independent motors and redundant power supplies, maintaining safety until a complete stop is achieved. Perhaps most compelling is BYD's nationwide rollout of urban autonomous navigation. Unlike competitors that gate features behind subscription models or region-based restrictions, BYD's city-level autonomous driving comes ready to use at delivery. And while regulators continue to define what full autonomy looks like on paper, BYD's hardware and software stack already checks the boxes for a Level 3 future. As cities grow denser and driving conditions more unpredictable, it's worth asking, could BYD's commitment to comprehensive redundancy become the new benchmark for intelligent safety systems worldwide? If so, other automakers may soon find themselves playing catch-up in a race that BYD has already started leading. Next-gen motor. In a move that caught both industry insiders and everyday drivers off guard, BYD recently unveiled a 30,511 RPM electric motor, one of the fastest mass-produced drive units in the automotive world. Capable of delivering 580 kilowatts of power per module, this motor doesn't just break records, it smashes expectations, particularly because it's being introduced not in a hypercar, but in BYD's mid-tier Han L sedan and Tang L SUV. For context, this motor outpaces even the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra's 27,200 RPM motor and the Tesla Model S Plaid's 20,000 RPM motor, both of which are designed for high-performance segments. BD's engineering approach is as sophisticated as the numbers suggest. The motor uses N50 high-energy magnets, improving magnetic performance by 18%, while its 10-layer short-distance winding design significantly reduces copper loss by 21%. Combined with a 0.2mm ultra-thin silicon steel sheet for reduced iron loss and direct refrigerant cooling, BYD has optimized not just for peak performance, but for sustained, efficient power delivery. Even dynamic balance precision has been tightened to just 50 mm, half the industry standard, further enhancing stability and safety at extreme speeds. Additionally, the motor is integrated with BYD's 1500V silicon carbide power module, enabling higher voltage tolerance and better thermal efficiency, which plays a key role in achieving both high-speed performance and system durability. What's striking, however, is the choice to debut this powertrain in family-oriented models. The Han L accelerates from 0 to 100 km/h in 2.7 seconds, while the Tang L SUV achieves it in 3.6 seconds, figures more typical of exotic sports cars. Even more surprising is the Han L's 100 to 200 km/h time of just 4.74 seconds, and Tang L's 6.19 seconds, performance that rivals dedicated track vehicles. While this elevates BYD's technical credibility, it's also raised questions online. Is this much speed appropriate for mainstream buyers? Some users have voiced safety concerns, particularly around whether average drivers, especially those used to more conventional vehicles like the Honda CR-V, can safely handle such performance. Comparisons have been made to Xiaomi's strategy, which requires users to unlock high-speed modes through practice trials. Will BYD follow suit? Whether this technology is a bold democratization of performance or a case of technology surplus is now a hot topic in EV circles. The move also reflects a shifting trend in the Chinese auto market, where consumers increasingly expect cutting-edge specs, even in family and commuter vehicles. Regardless, it undeniably underscores BYD's engineering prowess and confidence. By delivering cutting-edge performance in models aimed at the everyday market, BYD is challenging the traditional segmentation of power, price, and practicality. If successful, it may permanently shift consumer expectations, not just for premium buyers, but for anyone looking for an electric car that doesn't compromise on thrill or tech. Charging tech of the future. In a move that could redefine expectations for EV convenience, BYD has unveiled a new 1000-volt charging system that promises to deliver a full charge in just 5 minutes, a stunning leap ahead of Tesla's widely used supercharger V3, which typically requires 15 minutes for a similar charge. This advancement represents not just a boost in battery input rates, but a bold statement from BYD. Ultra-fast charging is no longer a futuristic concept, but a near-term reality. The announcement is particularly timely as consumer demand increasingly hinges on practicality and charging speed, not just driving range. It also signals BYD's ambition to not only lead the race in EV hardware, but to actively shape the charging infrastructure standards of the future, posing a direct challenge not only to Tesla, but to legacy performance brands like Porsche, whose Taycan was once seen as a charging speed benchmark. The implications are enormous. For urban commuters, taxi fleets, logistics operators, and road trip warriors alike, the ability to fully charge in the time it takes to buy a coffee eliminates one of the last major frictions of EV ownership. It also raises new questions about infrastructure readiness. Can public charging networks and local power grids handle the voltage and current requirements of such systems at scale? If BYD's ecosystem is built to support this architecture from the ground up, it could quickly become a competitive differentiator, especially in markets where high charger turnover is essential. BYD has reportedly begun collaborating with utility providers and urban planners in key regions to explore compatible charging station rollouts, potentially laying the groundwork for an integrated charging ecosystem that can scale in both urban and rural contexts. From a technical perspective, achieving this milestone requires innovation far beyond just high-powered cables. BYD is expected to have leveraged its vertically integrated supply chain to design bespoke battery packs, cooling systems, and silicon carbide (SiC) power modules that can safely handle extreme energy transfer without degrading long-term performance. BYD's in-house battery innovation, most notably its Blade battery, already boasts enhanced thermal stability and fast charging characteristics, making it a logical candidate to complement the 1000-volt system. direct refrigerant cooling, advanced thermal interface materials, and multi-path thermal dissipation are believed to be part of the new thermal management approach, ensuring that both safety and longevity are preserved despite the high charge intensity. If this technology proves viable in mass market applications, it could disrupt the current industry trajectory where most brands are targeting 10 to 15-minute charging as the benchmark. 5 minutes is more than a number. It's a psychological shift toward refueling parity with gas stations. In an industry where software updates and self-driving headlines often steal the spotlight, BYD's charging breakthrough underscores a different kind of innovation, one grounded in infrastructure, engineering, and user experience. This tech-first positioning may solidify BYD as a leader not just in e-hardware, but in the larger conversation about electrification efficiency. Additionally, by making its ultra-fast charging system compatible with both current and upcoming vehicle models, including lower-priced offerings like the Chin-L, BYD is setting itself up for mass adoption rather than niche implementation. Will other automakers, including Porsche, rush to catch up? Or will BYD's early mover advantage help it reshape the standard for what the modern EV user expects from their charging experience? Either way, the bar has been raised. As BYD charges ahead on the tech front, a far more complex race is unfolding on the global stage, one where innovation meets international tension, geopolitics, and global push. As BYD's rise accelerates, the global EV landscape is becoming increasingly entangled with geopolitics. While Tesla faces backlash over Elon Musk's controversial political alignments, including his ties to Donald Trump's re-election campaign and public engagements with far-right parties in Europe, BYD has largely sidestepped political theatrics. Instead, the Chinese automaker has positioned itself as a disciplined, tech-focused alternative, quietly expanding its international footprint while maintaining a low political profile. This contrast is starting to matter more in markets where political neutrality is becoming a brand asset, not a liability. BYD's branding strategy, which focuses on technology, sustainability, and innovation rather than personalities or politics, is resonating with regulators and consumers seeking stability in a polarized world. However, BYD isn't immune to geopolitical friction. Growing trade tensions between China and Western economies have led to increased scrutiny and tariff threats on Chinese-made EVs, especially in the United States and the European Union. Concerns around supply chain dominance, data privacy, and national security have prompted regulatory investigations and the potential for sweeping policy changes. In response, BYD has begun shifting parts of its manufacturing footprint abroad, announcing plans to build passenger car and battery factories in countries like Thailand, Brazil, and Hungary to localize production and reduce exposure to future trade barriers. These moves are complemented by strategic partnerships with regional governments and infrastructure providers, giving BYD a foothold in markets with rising EV demand and less political pushback. What gives BYD an edge in this politically charged environment is its broad-based support from institutional investors and its ability to play the long game. With Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway maintaining a major stake, albeit reduced from its peak, BYD projects global credibility, which helps it weather political storms more gracefully than some of its competitors. Meanwhile, the company is diversifying its strategy by exporting not just vehicles, but also core technologies such as battery systems, semiconductor components, and transit solutions. This dual-track expansion, hardware plus tech licensing, reduces reliance on any single regional market. BYD's Blade battery, for instance, is already being supplied to other automakers, including Toyota, signaling its potential to become a foundational player in the global EV ecosystem, not just through vehicles, but through infrastructure and components. Looking ahead, BYD's global ambitions appear to be evolving from market-by-market expansion to a strategic reshaping of the global EV supply chain. If Chinese EVs face mounting resistance in the West, could BYD double down on BRICS nations, Latin America, or Africa, regions where Western automakers have historically underinvested? Alternatively, Might we see joint ventures with legacy automakers or energy companies to co-develop infrastructure in regions where neither party could go it alone? One thing's clear, BYD isn't just a Chinese EV company anymore. It's becoming a geopolitical force in the future of mobility. With scalable platforms like E4, intelligent tech like Yangwang Z, and record-breaking innovations across the powertrain, BYD is setting the pace not just in innovation, but in strategic global positioning. If you found this breakdown as electrifying as we did, don't forget to like the video. It really helps us out. Got thoughts on BYD's global play, Tesla's next move, or whether Porsche can hold its ground in this new EV era? Drop a comment below. We're reading them all. For more sharp takes on the tech transforming the auto industry, subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss what's next. And hey, don't stop here. Tap the video on your screen to keep the momentum going. Trust us, the next story, you won't want to miss it.